So Nintendo just announced a Nintendo Direct for tomorrow, 31st of July, right? And that's pretty exciting. But immediately you can see it's a partner showcase, right? Which could be considered a little bit disappointing. It's only going to be third-party games. We were really hoping for, a big Nintendo Direct with first-party games in it, right? But this is only going to be third-party games, games from our publishing partners. Now, those can still be pretty exciting. People are talking about Silk Song. For me personally, I'm a pretty big Professor Layton fan, so I'm actually really looking forward to seeing Professor Layton in the New World of Steam again, and hoping to see a release date for that soon. And there's other games, like multi-platform games, that could come to the Nintendo Switch 2, that would be exciting, right? Like Expedition 33 or whatever it's called. I'm not really up to date with it, I'm sorry. It's not really a game that I would care about too much. But yeah, there's pretty exciting stuff that could still be in this partner showcase. My favorite reaction was the one from Games Cage, which I will show you here.
It's a partner showcase. I'll take it, I guess.
This is pretty reflective of how I feel about this announcement. A little bit of a meaner reaction, or more negative reaction here from Paradigm City, which I thought was funny. We find out it's a partner showcase, and this is our reaction. This is not necessarily how I feel. I'm still a little bit more positive about it than this, but I can definitely empathize with this reaction. Now, I will say, I think that this is fine, right? If we look at the sort of games that are still upcoming, that are already announced for 2025 and beyond, I didn't even put Tomodachi Life or Rhythm Heaven on here because they're guaranteed to be in 2026. This is just the games that could theoretically, either are guaranteed to come out in 2025 or could theoretically still come out in 2025, right? We already had Mario Kart, we already had Donkey Kong, two big system seller games, even though people might be disappointed with Mario Kart. It's not a topic for this video. But, two pretty big games, and we're still getting more, right? There's going to be a Pokemon game. Pokemon games are huge events. They sell massively, and for me personally, this is exciting because this is the first Pokemon game that actually Scarlet and Violet got a patch, but the first new Pokemon game that actually is going to run acceptably on a Switch console, right? Now, there's some people, I don't want to get too far into the debate of that. Some people don't care as much about the resolution and the frame rate and stuff like that. Some people care more about it. I happen to be a person who personally cares a little bit more about it. So for me, this is pretty exciting. I have been skipping out on a lot of the recent Pokemon games, and for this reason, and now it's going to be on Switch 2. It's going to run well. It's going to look good. I'm excited, right? And then Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. This is a game with a long and storied history. Metroid Prime fans, for the longest time, didn't know whether a new Metroid Prime game was ever even going to get made. Then in 2017 at E3, we got this teaser trailer. Metroid Prime 4 is coming. People were losing their minds. And then we didn't see it again for a couple of years. Nintendo put out this video. They're restarting development on Metroid Prime 4. They're like, we don't think this is not up to snuff. This game's not turning out well. We're actually taking it away from the developer that we gave it to, and we're giving it to the original creators of Metroid Prime, Retro Studios, who are going to cancel all of their other projects. From what we understand, they canceled all their other stuff, and they completely restarted development on Metroid Prime 4 again, right? They didn't. It seems like they completely started over. They hired new people, in big roles, like project managers, game designers, these kinds of people who you'd expect would already be there, but no, they made a completely new team almost, right? So finally, this year is coming out, and there's so many of us that are excited for that. Metroid is not something that's for everybody, but it is for a lot of people, right? And it's a pretty big thing. And then, we have Kirby Air Riders, we have Hyrule Warriors, we have Splatoon Raiders. All of these games are going to appeal to a smaller subsection of the Nintendo fan base, I want to say. But hey, maybe you're one of the people watching who's actually a huge Kirby Air Ride fan and are really looking forward to Kirby Air Riders, right? And we have the big games. We have Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, Pokemon. Maybe you can count Metroid. Maybe you don't count Metroid. And you got to allow there to be a couple of games that sort of fill out the schedule and are a little bit, give us a little bit of variety, right? maybe it comes out during a month where nothing else is coming out. Maybe you could give one of these series a shot. That's, I think, what I'm going to do. I think I do want to play almost all of these games, right? Even if not all of them are personally exciting to me, right? I still can see, I'm still excited to sort of experience them. So yeah, in terms of a schedule for 2025, this initial release year of the Nintendo Switch, it's pretty good considering that it came out like halfway through the year. I think people, like, I've seen some people complain about the launch lineup of the Nintendo Switch 2. I wonder if they just don't remember what it was like on the Switch 1, which wasn't really any better. We had Zelda, and then we had the Mario Kart re-release, and then we had like ARMS. It wasn't great either. It wasn't like game after game after game with multiple games at launch either. And then going back further, like Wii U and 3DS, those consoles were pretty dire as an early adopter, right? Like, I was trying to make Pilot Wings fun for like half a year until like anything else came out for the 3DS. So, in terms of a launch year, or the first half of a year of the launch, this seems pretty good to me. I'm pretty satisfied with this. And this graphic doesn't even include Tomodachi Life or Rhythm Heaven, which are coming out next year, which is why I didn't put them on here. But those are I'm pretty excited for Tomodachi Life. I'm excited to get into Rhythm Heaven. It's fine. We have a lot of first-party games announced. Now, there's something you notice about this graphic, though. When are any of these games coming out? Yeah, 2025, but which frickin' day, man? We don't have release dates for any of these games. Donkey Kong Bonanza was the last first-party title that we had a release date for. And now we've been like a week and a half or something like that without knowing when the next Nintendo game is coming out. And that's kind of like unprecedented, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember, I didn't research this claim is not researched, but I think outside of some periods at some point, maybe, I'm pretty sure that usually we get a release date for the next game after the last game that has that was a confusing sentence, but you understand what I mean, right? Like, usually we would have gotten a release date by now to know what to be excited for after DK Bonanza. But in this case, they're not doing that, and it's confusing the heck out of me. I'm getting kind of like antsy. I'm getting kind of like anxious. Like, what is the next? When are these games coming out? Because we're about to enter August. We only have 5 months left. And like, if Hyrule Warriors is coming out in 2025, let's say that Hyrule Warriors is and Splatoon Raiders isn't. Splatoon Raiders is a 2026 game. Let's say that we have 4 more of these games coming out this year. What either they are going to double up in a month, like 2 of these games are going to come out in the same months, or we're going to get the release date announcement of a September game in August. Like, if you mathematically think that through, right? Which is what Nintendo, please, I beg you, announce when any of these games are coming out. And now you're doing a partner showcase, and I'm like, but Nintendo, I don't want to know when these games are coming out. But like, to be fair, if I calm down for a moment, the real answer is that probably they're going to either use the media cycle of the partner showcase, bringing the Switch 2 back into everybody's mind, to either announce some of these release dates on Twitter, through a YouTube trailer, these kinds of things, or maybe, and this is where I want to show you this, user Adifying pointed this out, that this happened before where they did a partner showcase, and then a week later they did a major Nintendo Direct, which makes sense. If they are going to split the Nintendo Direct into 2, I think they kind of have to do the partner showcase first without announcing that there will be a Nintendo Direct proper afterwards, right? Because if they did the Nintendo Direct first, then nobody would watch the partner showcase, right? They're kind of using the hunger, the thirst that we all have for a proper Nintendo Direct to trick us all into watching the partner showcase first. And then afterwards they're going to do the real Nintendo Direct. Hopefully. But I am pretty sure that these actual release date announcements aren't far out at this point. I'm just... Nintendo, please. When are any of these games coming out? What am I playing? And then what am I playing next month or in September or any of these months? What is happening? Tell me, please. I need to know.